everyone, it's Allie, and today I'm going to do a book review, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is Hunter's Moon by Lori Handeland. Now this is the one right after the Blue Moon. My dog's over there, I keep looking at her, sorry. This is the one right after the Blue Moon one that I have reviewed, and I will leave a link to that down below. That one was really good, and this one's really good. This one is about a woman who is a werewolf hunter. She became a werewolf hunter because a werewolf attacked her family. And then the leader of the werewolf hunter corporation, whatever you want to call them, the group of werewolf hunters, the leader found her and rescued her, and then she trained to become a werewolf hunter, and she has been sent to Minowa, which is the little town where Blue Moon takes place, and she's sent there because there is another incident happening. Maybe it's not really in Minowa, maybe it's a little outside, but it doesn't matter. It's in Washington, it's in the same general area, and she's called there because there's another incident happening, like the other one. In Blue Moon, there was a wolf god, which just sounds like a great idea. This isn't a wolf god, but this is another kind of the same thing is happening. This one wolf wants to become the Supreme Alpha, which basically means that he will be the leader of all of the werewolves, which sounds so good. So he has to eat the energy. Basically, he has to eat 100 werewolves to absorb their energy to then become, and then there's like this ritual that happens, or that's supposed to happen, that will let him become the Supreme Alpha. And so Leia, her name is Leia Tyler, she is called to basically go help stop this from happening. And so she works with Jesse and Will from Blue Moon. They're back in this one. She works with them. Basically, they just go around trying to figure out who's behind this, why they want to do this, how they can defeat them, because normal silver, they've soon discover, probably won't work on a Supreme Alpha. They try to figure out how to find and defeat the one who is trying to become the Supreme Alpha. It's really good. It's just about werewolves. It's really good. Leia is not like Jesse in the sense that Leia doesn't really take to Will too easily. She doesn't take to people in general, but as the time goes on and as they work together, she realizes that she has more in common with Jesse than she really thought she would or did to begin with, because Jesse, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say something, but I realized that it's probably gonna end up being a spoiler for anyone who hasn't read Blue Moon, so I'm not gonna say that. She meets Jesse because Jesse's the sheriff, obviously. She's, a police officer and kind of knows everyone in the town, so if a new person coming in, she's gonna meet her. So Leia has to work with her because she's the sheriff and she knows more of the people, she knows about the people, she can help rule out people and point Leia in the direction, it might be Lee, I think it's Leia, but point her in the direction that she thinks would be the most productive, because she knows which people are surely not involved in whatever's happening around the town. So then she meets, as the time goes on and as she starts working with, and she works with Will because he's, the Native American lore specialist in the town, so she has to work with him because he can help her understand like the rituals and the reason behind such and such things, and so she has to have his help to be able to really understand what's happening. And along the way, she meets Damien. He is a bartender in the bar that she rents the room above from, because, well, I don't know if she even rents it, she just stays in it because it's like the only available one in the town or anywhere close to the town. So she sits there and she meets him and she's instantly attracted to him. And so there's a whole lot of, there's like that side story of her and him and her trying to redevelop the fact that, or redevelop her outlook on love, because in the event that brought her to being a werewolf hunter, the months or something following that, she kind of swore off love and she kind of closed herself off from that, and became a cold-blooded killer, as she has not described herself in those exact terms, but that's basically how she describes herself, because she's dedicated her life since then to killing and just destroying werewolves. And so in that process, she's kind of closed off from, you know, feeling any kind of anything for anyone. So she meets him and she has to go through this whole thing of keeping him safe, because when you're dealing with werewolves, you can't have a weakness. Like, you can't be in love with somebody because the werewolf will pick up on that and they could use that person against you. They could use that person to break your resolve and make you weak, so then they can, you know, come in and destroy you. So she has to figure out how she's going to deal with him, deal with the feelings that she gets for him or that she starts developing for him, and how to keep him safe while she's out trying to find the werewolf who wants to become the Supreme Alpha. And so it's a whole mess, really, because Damien doesn't really feel like he needs her to watch out for him because he can take care of himself. And so she kind of has to deal with that. And there is sex in this one too. So like the other one, 16, 17 would be my cap on this, because it's there's sex in it. I can't seem to pick a book that doesn't have some kind of sex in it, except one of the other books that I will be reviewing pretty soon. Maybe it might go up before this one, it might not, I don't know. It was Raptor Red, and it doesn't have sex in it. Like, it doesn't have graphic sex in it. So I guess not all of them do, but most of the books that I have read recently have had some semblance of sex and sexual scenes in them. But I'm over 18, so I can do it. Like I said I think this video will go up after the two that I'm talking about right now, but, and I will link them below if they do. If they don't, then I won't. I don't know when any of these are going up, but like I said, in another review that I've done or am doing, I read pretty explicit books when I was like 15, 16, which kind of, now that I remember some of the books that I read, or now that I'm actually thinking about some of the books that I read, was a bit racy. So anyways, I enjoy romancy books, and the fact that a lot of them have sex scenes in them doesn't really have any bearing on it, on whether oops, I dropped that on the floor. We'll just leave it there. It doesn't have any bearing on whether I actually start reading it or not. I don't really care if a book has sex in it or not. I've read some pretty traumatic things, some pretty awful scenes. There was one involving a shower that I may or may not end up telling you. I might tell you here in a minute. So sex doesn't really bother me. A lot of people feel a little weird talking about it or listening about it or reading about it or whatever, but it doesn't really bother me at all. So yeah, I think that might be all that I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you too much else about the book because that will spoil it, and it's sitting on the floor. Let's see. The story involving the shower, I don't remember what it was called, thank goodness. I'm not even going to try to remember what it was called. I'm not going to try to find it and link it below because there you don't need to read about it. But it, like I said in my other video, the In Too Deep video, which I will link down below, I read a lot of books about gay men in high school, and I really want to buy some of those because they were really good. Anyways, this one book, they were in the shower and he took the shower head. You know, some showers have a detachable shower head so you can like use it to like wash your back and stuff easier than you would otherwise. And so he took it. If there were two guys in the shower, because that's what happens when you're reading a book about gay men, they somehow end up in some kind of sexual scenario. So they're in the shower and he takes the shower head and he doesn't really stick it like, you know, up the other guy or anything, but he turns it on and basically shoots the water into him, into the other man, which is a lot more graphic than I'm actually saying it is because I was reading it and it was like in detail and it was just awful. So I don't have a problem talking about any kind of sexual content, but I don't know how much I should be going into detail on YouTube, especially right now when I'm just like starting and I don't have a whole lot of videos. So I don't want to get like flagged off YouTube for talking about sexual content. But basically he turns on the water and shoots it up the other guy and it's just awful dramatic thing. So yeah. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I don't know when this is going up. It'll go up before the other two, I think. Or after the other two. Probably after the other two if I'm saying I'm going to link things below. I can't really do that. I mean, I can, but you know. So I think this is going to be it. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you pick up either this one. Well, I hope you pick up this one, but read Blue Moon first because there are some things that are in this one, in Hunter's Moon, actually let me get it, in Hunter's Moon that happen toward the end of Blue Moon, and so it just would make it a lot better. You don't really have to read that one to read this one because because Jesse and Will, who are in that one, it doesn't really reference too much what happens in that one. So you don't really have to read them the way I did. You don't have to read them in order, really. But I would, because that just makes you really connect more into this one, because once Jesse and Will appear in this book, you will have the connection to them already, which will then deepen your connection to this book. So I would definitely check them both out. Like I said, I will link Blue Moon down below. I will link In Too Deep and Wrapped a Red review down below too, if you want to go watch those. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to stop chatting now. I'm sorry I talked so much. I don't normally talk this much, ever, unless I'm with my sister, and then you can't seem to ever make me be quiet. But I think the fact that I'm alone right now, I'm on my own and talking just to a camera right now, is so much easier for me. And the fact that I'm talking about something that I love. Now, if all I had to do was sit here and make up, like I'm going to do in another video, make up things about myself. I'm going to do a video, 25 facts about me, at some point. I don't know. That's going to be more difficult than this, or a book haul, or a tag video or something. And I have done a few tag videos so far. Those two will go up fairly soon. This one might go, I don't know when they're going up. I don't know. Well, look out for those. If they're not up already, look out for them. It will be the TMI tag and a dating profile kind of taggy thing. I don't know if it's really a tag, but I guess that's what I'm calling it. Oh, there's a school bus just went by. So I will keep a lookout for those. And I'm going to do a few other tag videos. I have a list made of tag videos that I want to do. I just don't know when I'm going to get to those. But those will be easier because they actually give you questions. And so I can just do those questions, and if I end up going on a tangent like I normally do, it will be because it was facilitated by that question. So instead of me sitting here trying to think of 25 things to tell you about me, because I don't really talk about myself, which is why I think doing the videos that I do are so easy for me, because I can have this to show you, because this is like this I can show you and I can concentrate on this thing, so I don't have to worry about too much else, and I just kind of and as I talk about a certain thing, my brain like fires really quickly. What are you barking at now, dog? My brain fires really quickly, and so as I talk about something, I will have like 6 other things that I want to tell you that are kind of related, because this is related to that thought, and then that thought, and then that thought. So I just kind of keep going on that, and that's how I get onto things about school or about gaming and books and showers and things. So I'm going to just stop talking now. I will be doing other reviews sometime. I have more books that I want to talk about that I have read. I might, before I do the video, I'm not going to like actually read through them, but I might like just flip through it a little bit to tell you about them. So watch out for those, I guess. I don't know. I'm really good at this, as you can tell. I'm really good at this YouTube thing. Anyways, I'm going to stop now. This is one you really need to read. Watch my other one of Blue Moon. It's not as good as this one because when I made my first few videos, I was not really sure how it was going to go, so I was a little more chill, and I just kind of sat there and talked about the book and said, yeah, that's the book, and this is what happened, and I liked it, and this is why I liked it, and you should read it. So I did that, and so, but now that because when I first started making these videos, I wasn't, I only had a little bit of time alone, because I don't want people around when I make videos. At least not right now, because I still don't know how this is going to go, and these ones are going much better because I'm actually alone right now. I have about 5 hours to myself, 4 or 5 hours to myself right now, and I am utilizing them because I can be as silly as I want when I'm completely alone without the prospect of someone showing up anytime. Speaking of, someone is going to be showing up pretty soon, and I don't want to be making a video while she shows up. So I'm going to go, and I will see you guys some other time. Definitely read this one, read the other one, read any of the other ones that I talk about, read any of the books that I talk about, because they're so good. And at some point in time, you will see an in-depth bookshelf tour, some videos. I have the first 3 shelves filmed right now. I don't know when they're going to go up. I don't know when I'm going to get to the rest of them. But look out for those. You will see this in there at some point, I'm sure. I think maybe in the next videos that I'm going to film of my in-depth bookshelf tour, which basically means I'm just going through and talking about them all. Instead of just showing them, I'm going to actually talk about them. Good. More of me talking. I'm going to go now. I keep saying that and then I don't go anywhere, but I really am going to stop now. Definitely read this one, Hunter's Moon by Lori Handeland.